Hello, people of the world watching vehicle reviews on the internet. Welcome to this, the 2024 Toyota Sequoia TRD Pro. And the fact that this thing is named after a massive tree and is the color of some type of bark lets you know that it means business outdoors. I should write marketing for companies. About as high as I want to go with this thing. This is a heavy rig. It's really subtle, but the flares have this little digital camo pattern engraved in the plastic. It's textured like that. Got a TRD catback exhaust, black tips, stainless. Weird, it's got a Wi-Fi symbol on the back bumper. Oh, I know what that's for. That's for the magic lift gate. I don't want to do that on the lift. What am I doing? I just pop this off? Aha! Stealthily hidden behind this plastic cover is the tow receiver, and this thing's capable of towing over 9,000 pounds, even with the TRD Pro package. Ooh, that's wobbly. I don't like that. At least it's got an aggressive spare. It's a Michelin, and oh, that Steely is so sick. A black Steely, an 18-inch Steely. I want a set of those. Out back, the TRD Pro Sequoia has a 5-link multi-link rear suspension with a solid rear axle. Housed inside that solid axle is an electronic rear locker with a 3.31 final drive ratio, paired with a set of remote reservoir Fox Racing 2.5-inch dampers. The shock mount is boxed all the way around, fairly rugged, same with the 4-link mount. Rear anti-sway bar measures in at 26 millimeter in diameter, same as the other 4x4 Sequoia models. This is now the third generation of the Toyota Sequoia, codenamed XK80. This one debuted in 2022, and the TRD Pro model you see here weighs in at 6,150 pounds. Aluminium single-piece drive shaft and a suitcase-sized muffler with a really nice stainless steel wipe pipe, might I add, which, measured at the narrowest point, is dual 2-inch piping or 50 millimeter. Fully boxed steel frame. As far as the 4-wheel drive system goes, it's a part-time on-demand system with a Borg-Warner 2-speed transfer case. Small skid plate. That's plastic. It's got a plastic skid plate in the fuel tank. Easily removable transmission cross member. Hey Ford, take notice. Toyota, they paint their drive shafts. As far as the transmission goes, there is only one option available, and that is the AWR 10L65 from Aisin. It is a 10-speed automatic with a maximum torque input rating of 650 Newton meters or approximately 479 pound-feet. Up in that bell housing area between the gasoline engine, there is a permanent magnet synchronous electric motor that is capable of outputting 48 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque in conjunction with the gasoline engine, which I'll get to in a little bit. Up front, you have a double wishbone suspension, all of which is aluminium with the exception of the lower wishbones. Those are fully boxed steel. Again, it's paired to a set of 2.5-inch internally bypassed Fox Racing coilover dampers. And if that wasn't enough, it also has these red powder-coated billet aluminium upper wishbones. That is so sick. It has TRD embossed in it. Also has forged aluminium knuckles. Well, that's sick. Even the axles are painted red to match. I said axle, like as in Guns N' Roses. Whatever you want to color match and paint in your own time is not my business. That's so gross. It's a little difficult to see with the skid plate, but you do not get a locker up front, unfortunately, with the TRD Pro. Also has a TRD front anti-sway bar, powder-coated red to match, 38 millimeter in diameter. Time for the braking test. No one behind me. Ready? Oh man. Oh, okay. There's my phone. Excellent brakes. Excellent. For how big and heavy this thing is, again, excellent. That braking was just accomplished thanks to a set of 353 millimeter or 13.9-inch front rotors with a 4-piston caliper. The wheels in the TRD Pro, they're an 18 by 8.5 with a positive 47.5 millimeter offset, forged BBS made in Japan alloy. They're wrapped in a set of 285, 65, 18-inch Falcon Wild Peak AT3W all-terrain tires, which is essentially a 33-inch. Out back, things get a little bit smaller with a single piston floating caliper and a 13.6-inch or 345mm rotor, and the wheel in the tire, same size as you have up front. In the name of science, I will now give it the beans bolstering assessment. Whoa, there's no bolstering to these seats. They're heated and ventilated, and they look good. Say TRD Pro on them, and they have a kind of like a camouflage pattern underneath the leather surface in the perforations. It's hidden unless you like look at it at the right angle. It's really neat. The steering wheel has a TRD logo in the bottom, the little red strip at the top, fine center, matching TRD shift knob. Also, the steering wheel is heated, and as far as drive modes go, you can rotate this dial and go up for sport or down for eco. I also have my off-road modes right below that. We'll get to that a little bit later. I also have some upfitter switches right above the wireless charge pad where I can defeat my traction control. Now I could launch this in 2 high because it is in rear wheel drive right now, but I want to see this thing get out of the hole as best as it can. So I'm going to do it in 4 high and give this thing a little assistance and let it eat. Ready? Ooh. Okay. Jeez. That was pretty good. Man, this thing is a rocket. That's already good enough. This is not just quick. This thing is seriously fast, which is impressive for how huge it is. Whoa, look at all that empty space between the heat exchangers and the front grille, which would make this thing safe in a collision, I'd say. In case you were wondering, these little vents on the corner of the hood, they are just for looks, not functional. However, just underneath this black cover, there is a hole where maybe you could modify it and make it functional. Underneath the head of the 2024 Sequoia TRD Pro is the V35 Alpha-FTS, which is an all aluminum 3.4 liter 4-cam twin turbo hybrid V6 that produces a whopping 437 horsepower at 5,200 RPM and 589 pound-feet of torque at 2,400 RPM. Now that is in conjunction with the hybrid system that I talked about earlier underneath the truck. Just in case you didn't see the review I did on the capstone edition of this truck, here is underneath the engine cover. You can see the water to air charge cooler for the twin turbos right up here on the top. iForce Max. That was a simple engine cover to reinstall. Digging in a little bit deeper on this 3,445cc V6, it has an 85.5 by 100mm bore and stroke, a rather impressive 10.4:1 compression ratio. It does have dual VVTi variable valve timing intelligent on both intake and exhaust cams, and Toyota's D4S direct and port fuel injection system to keep the back of those valves clean. You can see underneath the hood there's the inverter for the hybrid system, and impressingly enough with this, the warranty on the hybrid system and the battery is fairly significant in case you're worried about that. Although you cannot see, the turbos are tucked down here, mounted directly to the side of the cylinder head as the exhaust manifold is cast into it. Also, that giant LED bar light you see in the grille, there is a switch inside which you can fully defeat it, but it will come on automatically with your high beams. I'm gonna kick things off with a bit of a hill climb. So I'm gonna put this thing into 4 high. As far as off-road modes go, put this thing into 4 high, and then I have the more tasty squids button. Don't act like you're not impressed by my jokes. I can go from auto, which the robots will automatically figure out what mode you need. That's probably what most people should be using. To dirt, whoa, they actually have like a photographic image. Wow, that's high resolution too. Sand, sweet, mud, and deep snow. I really like the graphics. I'm gonna keep it in auto because robots are smarter than people. Now I do have a rear diff lock, however, I do not have a front diff lock. Kind of a downside for the price of this thing to not have that. But I'm not gonna lock the diff. I'm gonna just use it in auto mode, and I don't think it's gonna be that much of a challenge for this thing. Now I have 9.1 inches of ground clearance and a 23-degree approach angle. For those of you that like numbers, I'm not letting any air out of the tires. I don't do that in any of my reviews, just to keep it fair across the board. I'm doing this with no momentum. I'll turn on my trail cams. It's a heavy truck. I gotta give it a little bit of juice going up that hill. Keep that big ravine in the center. Trail cam's coming in clutch right now. It's not a challenge for this thing. You do notice the weight of the truck though. You can see the telemetry, so I can line myself up on the hill. To go down, I will use my downhill assist control. Just I want to try it out. Whoa! Oh, you can use the dial to set your speed. You can do up to 18 miles per hour. That's not really a assist, that's just a free fall. I'm gonna do it less than 3 miles per hour, so I'm gonna do it with my foot. But I'll leave that on just in case. This is the hill I usually test crossovers and transverse mounted all-wheel drive configurations on. And usually they fail. Most of them fail going up this. To get up here to set up cameras, I just drove up this thing off camera. It's like not even a struggle at all. Yeah, this is where I just want to use my foot and not the downhill assist feature. 3 miles per hour would be too fast. Now I got 20 degrees departure angle for when I get to the bottom. There's my other GoPro. Oh, I heard the robotic wheels kicking in. Parking sensors letting me know if I'm gonna scrape. Nope, you look good. That was nice. I had a little bit of assist from the downhill assist, also in conjunction with my foot. So it was like it filled in the gaps where I was lacking. Normally I don't take vehicles this large around the rally special stage, but I have a slight suspicion this is gonna do extremely well, just with the combination of how much power and torque it has and giant suspension that's on here. So let's see what it can do. Turn off all traction and stability control. Ready, set, go. All right, nice launch. Oh my God, this thing is such a rocket. Super nimble for how big it is. Holy shit, I'm surprised. Suspension is nice and soft in here. I apologize for the sound of my camera gear sloshing around on the interior. Man, so much control. That is crazy. These tires are phenomenal too. Turn in for days on the corner, zero understeer, absolutely zero understeer. Just does exactly what I want it to do. Wow, super, super, super impressive. Doesn't even feel top heavy or flippy, it just feels planted. Super, super impressed. Well, that didn't work. Oh, I forgot, these have the lift up glass. That's so good. Little cargo basket. What is this? Little storage areas the same size as a box of tissues. Oh, you can position them wherever you want or take them out. I like that. This is pretty sweet. Whoa, it even folds your headrest. Love that it does that. What does this do? Oh, so you can slide the seats forward? Well, that's convenient, where they put the speaker in the third row so you can turn up the volume and drown out the noise of a wood chipper. Also, there's a 400 watt AC power inverter back here. As far as the back seat goes, the interior is a nice balance between off-road package, but also a little bit of luxury. Like, these seats have that weird digital camo in the leather. If you look at it from a certain angle, you can't see it from in here right now. Oh yeah, they recline. Well, there's a tire tread in the floor mat. These are nice. Let's squeeze back here. Whoa, okay. That just folds the fuck out of the way. I got cup holders back here, also buttons to fold the seat. Another little cubby and a USB-C outlet. I got my own little slidable shade. USB-C charge port on that side. You could realistically be 6'4" and still sit in this third row comfortably, because I'm 6'4" with these heels on. No problem back here, tons of room. Third row vents for the climate control. Okay, third row, like a limo. Legroom for days. Do these third rows recline? Because if I could recline, oh my God, the back row reclines. This is the ultimate road trip spot right here. Fold the second row up, recline the third row. You could sleep back here so comfortably. Sequoia TRD Pro floor mats. My personal only complaint is I am not a fan of the Toyota graphic on the center of the dash right here. It just looks like someone went to an auto parts store and bought that and stuck it on there. Also, the center console, this tray, it just sounds kind of cheap, and I could imagine stuff rattling around in there and making noise. This thing, you could store a credit card, maybe? What is in here? Inside the center console, there's USB, USB-C, and then, oh, coin holders. Haven't seen those in a while in a vehicle. The digital camera-based rearview mirror that you can defeat if you would rather stare at my camera. Look, it's camera inception. Never mind. Toyota's infotainment system in a nutshell is it's idiot-proof. There's not a lot of frills to it. It's fairly simple and basic, but it's idiot-proof. As far as the sound system goes, this one has the JBL system, 14 speakers, and while it's good, it's not on the level of the Mark Levinson you get in the Lexus products. As far as high-speed off-road goes, I think that's where this thing shines. It is super, super smooth over bumps. It's smooth on-road too. It's just a comfortable truck all around. This is one of those vehicles where your fuel economy can sway wildly. If you're careless and just constantly in it all the time and having fun, it's gonna drink the fuel just as much as a V8. If you're conscious of it and trying to get good fuel economy, it will reward you. Personally, I feel the hybrid drive system on here is more of a power enhancer than it is a fuel saver, but when you're driving in slow speeds around a parking garage or a parking lot, it will drive in full electric mode, which that is where you waste a lot of fuel on something that's big and heavy, so I do see a benefit to it there. Where this thing shines is it's super luxurious while also being super off-road capable. It's what I think of when I think of an SUV. Body on frame, big, boxy, rugged, off-road capable. It can tow, plenty of power. That's exactly what this is. The downside of it is it's extremely expensive. But the upside of that is expensive is a relative term to your income level. So I guess I just feel more broke. It is now time to give this thing some scores. Starting with the bean score, the assessment and feeling you get in your gut when you give it the beans. And the Sequoia TRD Pro gets a rating of, followed by the cookie score, the assessment of value. And this thing, over $80,000 as equipped, gets a rating of. Next is the wrench score, the assessment of ease of maintenance, and this truck gets a rating of. Next is the meatball score, it's the assessment of off-road capabilities, and this Sequoia gets a rating of. Lastly is the penguin score, the assessment on how much I personally like a vehicle, and the Sequoia TRD Pro gets a rating of. I have to say I absolutely love the TRD Pro, but if I could have one of these the way I would want it, I would want bare bones 4x4 with the addition of all the off-road accessories and steel wheels. And that doesn't exist, but that'd be sweet. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I'll see you soon with another. Bye!